Hello. You're welcome, Julie. Okay, we have three people on now, so we are just going to get started immediately. I've sent out the new links, so we hope that every other person will join us. Okay, so let's continue from where we stopped. So I'll be sharing my slides now. So right now I'm sharing my slides. I just need one person to confirm that they can see my slides and we will go ahead. Ma'am Julie, you're welcome. You're welcome, ma. You're highly welcome. I hope that you gain a lot from it. Kindly help confirm that you can see my slide and we will go right ahead. So right now I want to talk was on this slide before the other one cut off. So we are talking about the hidden cost of dependency. The fact that you have to wait for somebody else before you can take a business decision. And I was giving the example of a business owner who is trying to like run maybe Children's Day sales, Democracy Day sales, Black Friday sales, and then they have to wait for the graphic designer to design the graphics. They have to wait for the ads experts to help them run their ads. They have to wait for a lot of different professionals before they can do some simple things for their business. Okay, but AI has come to bridge that gap. So when you have to depend on others, it makes you to lose time, it makes you to lose momentum. Maybe just wake up so fired up and you feel like, oh, I'm going to do this and this for my business. But by the time you call all the various people that you need to call, they are telling you, oh, madam, that thing that you want me to do for you, it will take another 1 week for an ads that you plan running the next day. So that means that that has actually made it impossible for you to take that step. And you also lose opportunities because when you can't get things done, that means that you lose the opportunity to do that thing. And of course you lose customers. If you can't run ads, you lose customers. If you cannot communicate effectively, you lose customer. Imagine you're running an ad and to you you feel like, oh, you have written a very good advert and you just launched the ad, but the message is not clear. They don't even know what you are selling. They don't even understand what the ad is about. They're like, what is this person really talking about? Okay, so that is what happens when you have to depend on others. So most times the problem isn't a lack of ideas, is having to depend on others before you can execute your ideas. So AI has come to bridge that gap. All right, let's continue. So AI is about independence. That's the real thing that AI has come to do for us. So AI brings that independence. Okay, so it's not really because we're not using AI because we want to take the job of photographers, because we want to take the job of graphic designers, because we want to take the job of this and that. No, it's because we want to be independent. I don't want to have ideas for my business and then I have to wait for a lot of different people before I can execute my idea. So with AI, I wake up with an idea, I jump right in, I go right in to launch my idea. I don't have to wait for anyone. So I'm an independent business owner. Okay, and with AI, I can think more clearly. So it's not really because We don't use AI because we don't have ideas. We use AI because we have ideas actually. We have ideas and then we want to execute those ideas without depending on others. So we use AI to think clearly, to draft faster. You know, you want to write, let's say you want to create content, maybe written content, video content for your business, and you have to sit down and think for 3 days. You are still thinking. Maybe you don't even want to use AI video, you actually want to go out to shoot. And then you are thinking, before I call photographer to come now, before I call these people to come, I don't want to waste money. Oh, let me think very well and be sure of what I want to do. And then you spend 3 days, you are still thinking. You think and thought and think. You are still thinking. So, and the more you think, time is going. Okay. So, but with AI, we can think really clearly. So I hope you are following us. I just want you to drop, if you're following what I'm saying so far, just drop a quick comment in the chat box and say I'm following. Okay. So with AI, we can draft faster. You don't have to stare at an empty screen. You don't have to think for 3 days. Okay. You can think now, and then with AI, you fine tune your thinking. Okay, there used to be Canva, or there is still Canva. Okay, so Canva came, to help people that don't know how to design. And even with Canva, you have to sit down, start looking for the best template, start arranging everything together, increasing and decreasing fonts up and down. And then with AI, you can design better. Even though you can design with Canva, I also used to design with Canva. Once in a while, I design with Canva, but I prefer to design with AI because AI makes it faster. I just have an idea, I explain what I'm doing to AI, and I go ahead and execute immediately. And then, I can create more consistently. In the era of using Canva, I can still spend like 30 minutes creating a single design, but with AI, the only um delay to my design is my network. So if my network is very sharp, within 30 seconds to 1 minute, I have my design, and immediately I can decide whether I like it or not. So if I don't like it, I could design another one. But can I do the same if I were using a graphic designer? I send a design to a graphic designer and I say, do this for me. And then they sent it to me, and I'm like, I don't even like what you just did at all. You have to redo it, change this color to yellow, change this one to blue, design this and that. If I have to do that with a graphic designer, you may tell me that, madam, I'll get back to you in 3 days. Or it will take 3 days before you get this work back. So that's a delay. That becomes a delay. So even though I have the money to pay a graphic designer, there will still be delay. I won't be able to do my work independently. Okay, so that's why AI is here. And then you can create more consistently. Of course, when you are doing it on your own and you don't depend on others, I can do 10 designs in a day. I can even do 30. I'll just sit down with my AI and I continue designing. And I can execute with confidence. I have an idea. I know that, okay, I can do a lot of different things on my own. All right, so I will move into the next slide now. Okay, so today we are going to create all of this with AI. These are things that business owners need to do often and often, and these are things that you can do with AI. All right, so we're going to create social media content, actually not a single content. We're going to create a promotional flyer, a Facebook ad copy, a promotional jingle, and a simple sales page. All right. So let's continue. I hope you can still see my slide. I hope you can still hear me and follow. Okay, so let's continue. So if you're following me, just type in the chat that you are following me. Confirm that you can see my slides and you can hear my voice. We are about to dive into the practical aspect now, and I want to be sure that we are all on the same page. Okay, so let's continue. All right, so let us continue. So now we'll be going into Chat GPT. This is my favorite app. Is my team member, my teammates. I was almost going to say ChatGPT is my best friend. All right. So we are here today and we want to do these five things with AI, and we are going to be using a business, a children resources business. That's what we are using in this live stream. So we're going to be using a children resources, a business that sells children books, storybooks, just resources for children. That's what we are using for this practical session. Okay, so we have an hypothetical name for the business, and the business name is Bright Minds Educational Resources. So they produce flashcards for children, worksheets for children. They sell educational toys. They sell learning resources. Okay, so the first thing we want to create is social media content for this business. So we're going to start from the easiest to the more advanced one. I don't want to say the toughest because everything is easy with AI. So I have the prompt somewhere because I don't want to waste our time. So I'm just going to copy and paste the prompt. Okay, normally I could just brainstorm inside of ChatGPT here and start from scratch. Okay, but in order to save us time, I'm just going to copy and paste my prompt here. So here is the prompt. Act as a social media content strategist. I'm telling ChatGPT to act as a social media strategist. Ma'am Julie Ari, are you sure you can? My slide is off. I think you should close. Please close the live stream and open it again, because I'm actually connected on my other device here and I can see the slide. I encountered that challenge too. So what I did was to close it and reopen it again. So please, can you confirm that you can now see the slide? Please, I need to be sure that you can see the slide before I go on. Not the slide. I'm currently on ChatGPT, not on the slide. Please, can you see my ChatGPT interface before I go on? Because I need someone to confirm that they can see my ChatGPT interface. Hello. Please, I'd like someone to confirm. Hello. Please, I'd like someone to confirm that they can see my ChatGPT interface so that we can go on. And let me just stop and do it again. Please, can you see? Okay, at Priscilla, please, you can close the chat. You can close the live stream and open it again. Okay, okay, so it's good that everyone can see it. So let's continue. So I have pasted The prompt now: act as a social media content strategist. I run Bright Minds educational resources, so I'm telling ChatGPT what I do. And it's a business that provides educational toys, flashcards, worksheets, and learning resources for children age 10 to 2 to 10 years. So our customers are parents and teachers. So you need to let ChatGPT know that your customers are parents and teachers. And one interesting fact that I want you to take note there is that your customers are not children, because that's a mistake that some business owners make. Because you are selling educational resources does not mean that your customers are children, because it is not children that will buy those resources. It is their parents and their teachers that will buy the resources. So those are your customers, and any advert, any content, anything you are putting out should be targeted at parents and teachers. Don't run an ad and be speaking children language and say the children will understand. You are not running ads for the children, you are running ads to reach the parents and the teacher. So it is inside what you are selling that you will communicate to the children, but your advert should communicate to parents and teachers, because those are the people that will buy what you are selling. Okay, so the rest of the details, the tone should be one professional and encouraging. Okay, so let's just run this and wait for it to load. Okay, so it has given me a write up here. It says learning numbers doesn't have to feel like a chore. It can be an exciting adventure. Our number recognition flashcards are designed to help children recognize, identify, and build confidence with numbers and all of that. So, this is a Facebook post. So, we can just copy this and paste in a Google Doc. So, I like to work with Google Doc a lot. So, I'm just going to copy this and paste in a Google Doc. Okay. So, we have that now. And if I want to take this a step further, I'm going to ask it to create an image to go with this, but we're going to do that in another task. Okay, so I'm going to keep what I just drafted. I'm going to keep it in a Google Doc. Okay, so I'm going to copy it using that copy button at the top, and I'm going to paste it. I'm going to paste it somewhere, and then we continue. All right, so we have done that social media content. So the next task is actually a promotional flyer. So in the promotional flyer, we're going to create what will go ahead, to give us the flyer that will follow that post. When we write that kind of post, we need a picture to go ahead with it. So that is the next assignment that we are doing. So we can't just post this. We need people need to see what is the flashcard that we are talking about. So I have copied the next prompt. I don't want to bore us with the details of that, but I copied it from my Google Doc, and I'm going to paste it. Here. So I said act as a graphic designer, create the text content for a promotional flyer for Bright Minds educational resources. The product is number recognition flashcards for children aged 2 to 6 years, and include the headline, short description, benefits of the flashcard, call to action, phone number. Use professional and friendly language suitable for parents. Okay, remember I said earlier that our customers are parents and teachers. Our customers are not children. So you need to use professional and friendly language that is suitable for parents. Okay, so let me just, okay, let's leave it as parents, but I can actually put it as parents and teachers. Okay, so I'm gonna send this now, and it's going to do this. So says there is a concise flyer copy. So it's telling me how the flyer will look like. Okay, so here I can change anything I don't want. See this edit button at the top, I can edit it. Maybe I don't like the way, maybe some of the things you wrote, I want to edit it and change it to something else. I can do that, but I don't want to change anything here to save our time. Okay, so what I'm just gonna do is, assuming that I want to use another AI, assuming I want to use another AI app or AI software to create the flyer, I'm just going to copy this here and then I'll take it to that other app. But I want to create the flyer right inside of ChatGPT. So I'm going to ask you to go ahead and create the flyer. Okay. So go ahead and create the flyer. So we're going to wait for it to create our flyer. So our flyer is loading. Our flyer is loading. Okay, so it is working on our flyer. I hope we are still together. I hope we are still together. If we are still together, please drop a comment and say we are still together. It's working on our flyer. Let's just give it a little time to get the flyer. Let's give it a little time. Oh, our flyer is ready and I hope everyone can see it. I hope everyone can see the flyer. This flyer is so beautiful. I feel like selling number flyer, or I feel like buying. I think I feel like buying. Yeah, that's the right word. So I think our flyer. So this is our flyer. Can you see this beautiful flyer that we just created with AI? So assuming that I wanted to get a graphic designer to design this for me, I don't know how much they will charge, but I know it cannot be ready in 5 minutes. That I am sure of. Okay. So you can see that with AI, my flyer is ready in about 5 minutes. So now I have a Facebook post and a picture to go along with it, all with the help of AI. So I can just download this picture now. I can just download this picture now and, along with the write up, post it on Facebook. Okay, so we're going to go on to the next thing now. And the next thing is our Facebook ad copy. Okay, so before we go to the Facebook ad copy, there is a second image that I want us to create. Okay, to go along with our flashcards. We really want this flashcard to sell, so we're going to use the best and the best of images. So we want our images to catch their attention, as they are just scrolling, as they are scrolling through Facebook, they just immediately they see our post like this, they will just pause that, what is this? What are they selling here? What is happening here? And they will just say, let me buy this, thing, or let me buy it for my children. I think it is nice. So I'm going to send the prompt for the second image. So the second image is create a bright and colorful marketing image showing a happy African mother teaching a young daughter with colorful number flashcards, modern home setting, warm lighting, educational atmosphere, professional commercial photography suitable for Facebook marketing. So I'm going to send this prompt now and create the image. So the image is loading as well. So the image is loading. I Okay, let me reshare my screen. Let me reshare my screen, please. Please, can you see my screen now? Please, can you see my screen now? I need to be sure that you can see my screen. Wow, what is going on? I'm sorry about that, please. I'm trying to reshare. I'm trying to reshare my screen. Please, can you see it now? Wow, this screen must show. If I use this entire screen, it's going to be an issue. This is the challenge with sharing entire screen. Wow. I'm sorry. I'm trying to troubleshoot. I'm trying to I'm trying to see what the problem is. Can you see my screen now? Even though this is not what I intend showing, but are you seeing my screen? Are you seeing my screen? Oh, Please hold on. I'm trying to see what the problem is. Please give me a minute. Please give me a minute.